looking at?
No, just stuff. What's going on?
It's time for bedtime stories with Dad. Come on.
But did you brush your teeth first?
No. Let's just go.
No, we have to brush your teeth. Come on.
Okay.
What's going on in here? Oh my goodness. Okay, Daddy's waiting for you. Come on. It's bedtime stories. Dad's waiting. Come on.
Come on, Leo.
Hey! Alright, you ready for Bible stories?
Yeah.
Awesome! So, every night we've been talking about the heroes of the Bible, right?
Yeah.
So who have we talked about?
Moses.
Caleb and Joshua.
Meshach, Meshach, and Abednego.
You mean Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, they were cool.
We also talked about Esther.
Esther's beautiful and a great story, but tonight we're going to talk about the best hero of all. And who is that?
Jesus!
That's right. And you know the biggest supernatural plan for him was to be buried, and when was he raised? How many days? After Trace days. 3 days. That's right. And what did he give us?
New life.
New life. That's right. New life was important. But you know what? He did a lot of miracles here on earth. You guys want to hear about the miracles?
Why not?
All right. Our first story tonight is Jesus heals in response to faith. Jesus went across the Sea of Galilee in a boat. It landed on the other side.
I want to be Jesus.
Sure. You need some disciples.
Okay.
There was a large crowd gathered around him. Then Jairus came. He was a synagogue ruler. Seeing Jesus, he fell at his feet. Please come to my house. My little daughter is dying. She'll live if you pray for her. Please, Jesus. Jesus agreed and went with him. A large group of people followed. As they crowded around him, a woman was there who had a sickness that made her bleed. It lasted for 12 years.
If I could just touch his robe, I will be healed. Wait a minute. Is this Jairus' daughter?
No, this was on the way to Jairus' house. This is like a side journey.
Let's go back to the story.
Oh, okay, back to the story.
If I could just touch his robe, I will be healed.
She came up behind Jesus in the crowd and touched his clothes. Right away, her bleeding stopped. She felt in her body that the suffering is over. At once, Jesus knew that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd. He asked, "Who touched my clothes?" "You see the people," the disciples answered. "They are crowding against you, and you still ask, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus kept looking around. He wanted to see who had touched him. Then the woman came and fell at his feet. She knew what happened to her. She was shaking with fear, but she told him the whole truth.
Your faith has made you well.
While Jesus was still speaking, some people came from the house of Jairus.
Your daughter is dead. There is no use in troubling the teacher now.
But Jesus didn't listen to them. He said, "Don't be afraid, just believe." He let only Peter, James, and John follow him. They came to the house of the synagogue ruler. There Jesus saw a lot of confusion. People were crying and sobbing loudly. He made them all go outside. He took only the father and the mother of the child and the disciples who were with him. He took her by the hand and he said, "Tahatha Kuma." This means, "Little girl, I say unto you, get up." Right away, she opened her eyes and started looking around. Her parents were so excited they were totally amazed. She got up and Jairus thanked Jesus for bringing his daughter back to life.
That was like a 2-in-1 story.
Yeah, so what else did Jesus do?
Did you know his very first miracle was turning water into wine?
Really? How did he do that?
That's cool.
Yeah, it was during the wedding in Canaan.
You mean Canada?
Not Canada, Canaan, and here's the story. On the third day, a wedding took place at Canaan in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there. Jesus and his disciples were also guests there. They were all having such a great time. After a couple hours, Jesus' mother noticed that the wine was gone. She went over to him and said, "They have no more wine." "Dear mother, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied. "My time has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you to do." Jesus said to the servants, "Fill 6 stone water jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. These jars were used by the Jews for ceremonial washing. Then he told them, "Draw some out and take it to the master at the banquet." As they did, all of a sudden the servant saw the water turn into wine. She was amazed. The servant took it to the master of the banquet and poured some in his cup. He tasted it and was surprised. "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, then the cheaper wine after the guests had too much to drink. But you saved the best till now." He did not realize where it come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. This was Jesus' first miracle. Jesus performed in Canaan of Galilee. Thus he revealed his glory, and his disciples put their faith in him. Wasn't that an amazing story?
Yeah.
Wow, water into wine.
Wait, who made up the hose thing?
The hose? What hose?
Who cares?
You see the hose? Okay. So anyways, let's move on. Our next story is about a blind man that gets healed. The next miracle. Money for the poor, money for the blind, money for the poor. One day, a woman and her child were walking along and saw a blind man who gave him some change. As Jesus was walking along, he also saw this man who had been blind from birth.
Why was this man born blind? Was it because of his own sins?
Or was it his parents' sins?
This has happened to show the power of God. I am the light of the world.
Then he spit on the ground, made mud with saliva, and spread the mud over the blind man's eyes. He told him, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." Siloam means sent. So the man went and washed where Jesus told him to. And he could see. I could see. Wow. The blind man was so excited he could see. Oh. That's what a grape looks like. Oh man, look at that. The woman thought, wasn't this man born blind? Many neighbors questioned.
Isn't this the man that used to sit and beg? No, he just looks like him.
I am the man that Jesus healed. I was blind, but now I can see.
I think we should test him with an eye chart. Okay. Cover one eye. Okay. It's a celebration.
All right. Okay, the next story, that was fun. The next story we're going to talk about is Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead. That's right. A man was dead for 4 days, and Jesus is going to raise him from the dead. You ready? When Jesus arrived at Bethany, he was told that Lazarus had already been in the grave for 4 days. Many of the people had come to console Martha and Mary in their loss.
Hey, I want to be Lazarus this time.
Okay. Whoa. Hey, I'm Jesus. I am the resurrection and the life. When Jesus saw her weeping and saw the other people wailing with her, a deep anger welled up within him and he was deeply troubled. Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would have not died. Jesus wept. The people who were standing nearby said, "See how much he loves him?" Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me, and I say this aloud for all these people standing here, so they would believe you sent me. Lazarus, come out! And the dead man came out. Jesus told them, unwrap him and let him go. Yippee! Lazarus is alive!
I got to be unrolled.
That was amazing.
It was great. There's so many more miracles that Jesus did. The books in this world couldn't hold all the miracles, but we're supposed to do those greater works. Jesus said, greater works you shall do when I go to the Father. Jesus told us to go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. We'll lay hands on the sick. We'll see the exact same things that Jesus did, but it's up to us to go out into the world and do it. What do you think? Can you do that? We can all do that, can't we? Well, guess what? It's bedtime. We'll pick up here tomorrow. We'll do some more Bible stories. Okay, everybody, it's bedtime. You guys get ready for bed? Have a good night. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
All right, get you in bed, all right? You're going to have a good night's sleep, okay? I love you. Jesus is always with you. Your angels are always with you. And you're going to have a good sleep tonight, okay? Good night. Good night. Love you too.